Okay, so I think we've all had experiences in our life where we're in our sport or in our activity and we thought we were the hot shit, we're the best one there. No one could compare to me, and we puff our chest out, and and someone else better comes along, whether it be like a competition or an actual event, and it kind of shames you, and you kind of stay quiet and you kind of learn from there, right? And well, the quote that I have for you today is actually a Korean proverb that says, "When there are no tigers, a wild cat is very self-important." And I think what I took away from this, and what I'm going to speak about primarily today, is the way that humans compare each other, and the way that competition can have both a good and a bad effect in the way that we interact with people, and in the way that we kind of portray ourselves or choose to act, right? And so the first example is going to be a bad one. So I go to the gym, right? I'm not sure if you can tell, I've been kind of working on it, right? I've been working on it, so that's what's matters, right? But I've been in situations at the gym where I see someone like the same size as me or like bigger than me, and they lift less than me, and like, that guy's nothing, I got this. It's just dumb, like, masculine ego, like, just not good all whatsoever. But recently, like 6 months ago, I actually got injured, so the rotator cuff, as well as my tricep tendon. Basically from like partially bad form and doing it so many times, it kind of damages the tissues in the tendon. And so for the last few months, I've had to like kind of rehab it. So I've been going to the gym and doing different exercises that I've done what I prefer, lifting a lot less. And it kind of humbled me. I was like, okay, so maybe I did not know what was going on with the guy that was only deadlifting like 145. Like maybe there was something else going on there. So that's an example of where like that kind of ego and that competitive spirit has not been very useful for me. And so I'm different now. I look at everyone in the gym a little differently. I kind of understand that everyone's going at their own pace. And then the second example is actually like when competition is good, right? And so a good example for me is competitive archery. I used to shoot recurve, and I used to go to state and national competitions for that stuff. And when I'm practicing at home, so let me explain there. It's not 360 points, right? That's basically like a round. And when I was at home, I not really care about it so much. Like I'd be haphazard in my practice. And I shoot like 260, 270, 280, which is not that good. You kind of have to break like 300 to be like decent, like top 10 kind of stuff. And when I go to competitions, like something changes for me. I don't know if it's like I have this little animal side to me, but when someone's next to me shooting like a 10, a perfect 10, 10, 9, it's like if he can do it, surely I can do it, right? And so actually at competitions, my scores do go up. It's a friendly thing sometimes it's not. But I do find that in both archery as well as school, as well as my workplace, like that desire to compete and to compare myself can actually be healthy, right? So it really comes down to how do I handle that competitive energy? Do I use it to belittle others and think of myself as superior, or do I use it as a kind of fuel to kind of guide me and to motivate me to do better? And so today I've discussed two different ways that competition and self-comparison can be both good and bad for your life. And I'm just going to end by repeating the quote for you, which is, when there are no tigers, a wild cat can be very self-important. So thank you.
Well, the visualization that you have as an attention device is okay, but I think what you did was take the quote and do something really nice with it. It worked very effectively. There's an okay preview. I liked all of the examples. I thought you did a nice job talking about them, giving us a little bit of detail on each one so that there's something for you to kind of hold on to and talk about, but also something for us to react to. Isn't it easier when you're talking about something that you know, and you just... you start talking about shooting the archery thing, or you're talking about working at the gym, and it's like, well, I've done these things. So you're just talking about things that you have done and you've noticed. I like those ideas because they are much more naturalistic. So the content stuff I think is pretty solid. Delivery things, most things are pretty good. You've got an enthusiastic energy in your voice. There's reasonable pacing for what you're doing, maybe a little quick sometimes. I think sometimes you get excited and you rush through the end of a story, and you could probably slow down a little bit and pace yourself that way, but that was not a big problem. I think your eye contact, that we still have the same sort of issue, that you point your face in our direction, but you never engage people very much. You know, and you have a tendency to kind of look around us. You know, it's like we're on the periphery of where you're looking, and we're right in front of you. So don't, you know, try to connect a little bit more with people. Like I said, you'll probably get away with it in a bigger circumstance, but in a more intimate situation, I think it's a little bit problematic. The gestures, you look engaged when you're talking. Sometimes it's a little over the top. It was more that way at the beginning of the speech, like you're doing a whole bunch of kinds of things and moving your hands. Once you settled down, I thought you looked a lot more naturalistic, and especially in the second half of the presentation, you're doing fine there. All right, I think she's going to be our last speaker, so we won't send anybody else out right now. We're going to have somebody just go wave her in. Thank you.